Our next speaker is Brother Sami Shaban. So currently he is a pillar of our community. Many of you know him already, but he serves on the Board of Education in Franklin, as well as the planning boards for both Franklin Township and Somerset County as well. He's the founder and board member of many nonprofit organizations, many of which you've probably heard of, like CILRU, the Chaplaincy of Rutgers, serving more than 6,000 students. Most recently, he was involved in forming the New Jersey Muslim Coalition, a group targeting basically the idea of grouping many of the largest masajid and centers in New Jersey and forming a coalition to help them unite. He, prior to this, has worked in hedge funds, but most recently is a small business owner with multiple restaurants and is a practicing attorney. More recently, many of you may know, Sami's family has been on the news, where 11 members of his family were killed after the supposed ceasefire in Gaza. And again, Sami is no stranger to this loss. Unfortunately, he's suffered several losses in his family due to the violence in Gaza, due to the genocide in Gaza. And many of his family members have been affected by this directly. Again, cannot imagine what that must be like. My condolences to you, my friend. And inshallah, at this time, we can take a moment of silence to read Surah Fatiha for Sami's family members. And then he will grace us with his presence and inshallah give us some works, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa salatu wa salam wa Sayyid Muhammad wa sahbihi wa sallam. Thank you once again to Muslims for Peace for inviting me to this beautiful event. It's not often that our community as Muslims sort of has these types of events where we've got so many different faiths and so many different folks coming from so many different backgrounds. So it's just beautiful to see esteemed guests, shuyukh. Thank you for having me. The message now, if it's not clear to everybody, is that the time is now. We've sort of run out of excuses, we've run out of reasons or anything else you might conjure up of why we can't start acting now. If the latest mayoral race taught us anything, it's that you can call for an end to the genocide, for freedom for the people of Gaza, for peace in that entire area, and still win an overwhelming election. We don't have to pick and choose anymore. We don't have to say, okay, we want to follow these social justice issues, but not Palestine. We can now be our whole selves. We can show up to rooms as our whole selves. And we can demand that all the people around us do the same. Growing up was tough. My mom was born in Gaza, and my parents got divorced when I was very young. It was just me and mom. I remember mom having to choose between us having lunch or us being able to pay for the rents. I had holes in my shoes, my mom had holes in her shoes, but we survived and we prevailed. The idea of affordability in America is not a new phenomenon. It's something that many immigrants from when they came here have felt, but it's only that much more widespread today. My pathway was through education. I knew that if I wanted to go up in society, to be able to change my status and to be able to afford things, I needed to do it by working. So when I was in college at Rutgers, I would go to school and then I would work. I worked 40 hours, sometimes 50, 60 hours, and I paid for my entire college education. That's the life of immigrants. We figure it out. But through that, I sort of learned, okay, this is the pathway to sort of getting upwards. But how many people have that same pathway? So then I did what anybody would do. I got a job and I started to be a part of society, and then I realized that, look, there's a lot of people that can't afford these same things. So how can I give back? Joining the Board of Education, joining the food bank. And in that journey, what I found now is America is in a crisis. It's not just my family in Gaza. Alhamdulillah, we've had 43 members killed so far. But the crisis is here. As a member of my food bank, which is one of the largest food banks in the entire East Coast, we've never been at such a low level of food. SNAP benefits being taken away from our neighbors is contributing to the downfall of our sort of economic structure. I have a barista that works in my cafe. He's 17 years old. He works at nighttime because he's in high school during the day. He's a senior in high school. His father, 1 month ago, got picked up by ICE and has not been returned. This 17-year-old is now the head of his household. Think about that. 17 years old, the head of your household. His barista salary is what's keeping his family going. They come to the food bank, but there's not as much food there. So we have to ask ourselves in this room, what are we doing to help with that situation? We want peace, but that peace has to be rooted in our own local communities. I want peace in Gaza, but a lot of it also has to start from here. We have to be the ones that are taking up this amazing opportunity to say, our neighbors are hungry, how are we going to help feed that? Our neighbors need help with their education, how are we going to help get them through there? And through that, we're going to build so many bonds with our local communities. These are the things that, as Muslims, we can connect with our churches, with our synagogues, with our Hindu temples, and work on these core issues. And then when we talk to folks about our social issues around Gaza, around bringing peace there, about advocacy, guess who's going to show up for us? Those same allies. Because we work together on solving some of the big problems that are facing us right here. It's not going to be a magic bullet that sort of does all of this and gets people to say, oh, ceasefire now. It's going to be building these hard connections and us taking this work seriously. Alhamdulillah, as the brother mentioned in the intro, we've now been able to assemble the masajid of New Jersey in a way that probably has never been done in New Jersey history. Just yesterday, alhamdulillah, the sister here at Tapu, when she was a part of that, we had over 40 mosques come together. They say, you know, every cloud has its silver lining. And so as the genocide started, we came together. And now it's been over 2 years that we've been coming together. And through that coming together, we've done so many initiatives together. We did an uncommitted movement, which got 46,900 votes, and told, thank you, and told the powers that be that we're not satisfied. Sure, some people want to say Democrat, but they're not satisfied with those answers that don't call for these peaceful solutions, that don't talk about these tabletop issues like affordability, that do not give us the answers that we're currently looking for. We then supported folks like Ras Baraka because he was speaking to those issues. We supported people like Bonnie Watson, our congresswoman, our hero. Out of 430, please give her a round of applause. Out of 435 congressional representatives, it would not be an exaggeration to say she was the absolute best. It wouldn't be. I wish she were here so that I could say it to her face. She's a friend of mine. Every time one of the people in my family got killed, she called me. The last time, she said, you need to come to D.C. She brought me down to D.C. She blew up pictures of my family members, did a press conference in front of the Capitol building, stood there and said everything that any one of us would have said and even more about how this needs to stop, how it's gone too far, and how what we're doing is not okay. She brought every other representative from Congress that was willing to sign on with that with her. We had Representative Rashida Tlaib there. We had Representative Ayanna Presley, Representative Ilhan Omar, and so on, speak one after the other, all started by our own congresswoman. For what I understand to be the first time that somebody did that type of press conference highlighting the people of Palestine and the death that's occurred. I would give her a round of applause. So when we asked ourselves, and I get this question all the time, what can I do? What can I do? I sit there and I scratch my head. I'm like, what do you mean? There's 1,000 things you can do, especially today. Whether it's to be a part of your local food banks, to get involved in some of the organizations that Sister Zainab, our awardee, who's a well-deserving awardee, was mentioning earlier. Or whether it's picking up the phone and calling your representatives and demanding something. Or, and my call to action to you now is to get involved with your local political races. Bonnie Watson retiring means that there's an opportunity for our community to have a say in who comes up next. For our community to say, this is the type of representative we need, and if we don't, then you know what? That seat might get filled by somebody else. We need to take these things seriously. And it's not just this race, there's race up north too with Mikey Shell's seat vacating. And there's races all over. We need to stop sitting in the back seat of the car and get into the driver's seat. We've never had a Muslim representative at the federal level in New Jersey. Many of the folks in this room are Asian. Out of our 12 representatives in the House of Representatives, we don't have a single Asian. How much of New Jersey is Asian? We don't have a single representative? We can't find one? As my good friend, Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman said, we have enough white men in Congress. We don't need more. We can find somebody from within our communities, from within us, that can start stepping up to some of these challenges. And so I leave you with this one thought from our great President John F. Kennedy, which was, if not now, then when? And if not us, then who? Thank you so much. Salam alaikum.
Thanks so much, brother, for those kind words and that's the strength that you have shared with us. I think, again, having that many of your family members being killed in such a brutal way, we can now be easy. And I agree, we do need better leadership. We need leadership within it ourselves. So whatever we can do to make that happen, I think, is our calling and our mission for today and going on. I also do want to thank you for your continued support of Muslims for Peace in the form of all your businesses, the Halal guys, Al-Basha, Araz as well, in making this event possible. So we really appreciate your continued support.